Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your comments, questions, and suggestions. We combine all this information, put it to good use as a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta, and also to inspire some of you that don't live here to either visit or to come back. I have a lot of questions today. As you will find out later on, we had a little survey this morning on Facebook that I'm going to talk about, and this has to do with restaurants that play live music. Be thinking about this because I want to hear some answers. And if there are some restaurant owners watching today, you know, I'm not a restaurant owner, so I'll be looking forward to your point of view and your perspective, so that we can hopefully better understand why things are the way they are. But I do not wish to get ahead of myself. As always, I encourage you to add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment or question if you have something important that you wish to share. And if you're watching live for the first time and you would like a nice little friendly welcome, all you have to do is add a capital letter N at the beginning of your comment, and we will tag you as new, and we will give you a nice little welcome. But first, let's have a look at the news, and we start with not the weather. We start with the news. And here we are. Guess what? Governor Alfaro, who only has a week left as governor, traveled to the municipality of Tomatlan to inaugurate the new international airport or airstrip in Chalacatepec, which is now, along with the Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara airports, the third in our state to welcome international flights. But hold on to your safety belts, my friends. It's not like airlines are flying there just yet. In fact, I doubt that there's a terminal built already. Regardless, it's good to know that this airport will in the future become increasingly important, and I show you where it is. There is Puerto Vallarta on the upper left-hand corner, Guadalajara on the upper right-hand corner, and there is the Chalacatepec airport in the lower half of the state of Jalisco. This will be great for all the communities located there because you'll be able to fly directly to it. So, yay. And another important bit of news, beware of illegal whale watching tour operators, because the whale watching season does not officially begin until December 8th. And yet, according to Astrid Frisch, who is president of the Ecology and Whale Conservation Group, there are already some vendors selling tours to go see the whales. Since the season has not yet begun, these vendors are obviously operating outside the law. Astrid recommends taking a tour with a legally sanctioned tour operator, and her website, which I will include in the show notes, has many resources that can help you make the better choice. And last but not least, I want to remind you that the ajolote or axolotl is an amphibian species endemic to Mexico, and it is in danger of extinction. But thanks to a unique conservation program, Mexico's National University is launching their third edition of an adoption campaign. But don't worry, you don't even have to know anything about them or have a fish tank for that matter. You can adopt an axolotl by making a donation. You determine the amount you wish to contribute to the program, and you will, in effect, be adopting your own axolotl. So I'll leave you with a link to this article, but I'll also leave you with a direct link to the university's Institute of Biology, where you will find information in English that I'm sure will be more helpful to many. And this is our first block. Let us very quickly jump over, now we do, to the weather to see what is going on out there. And let's see. Oh dear. When fire starts raining from the sky at the dawn of the robopocalypse, you'll look back on today's perfect weather fondly. Well, I don't know about the rowboat, whatever, but it is lovely out there. It's 26 degrees. Humidity is at 74%, but I feel a nice breeze coming into my apartment, so that is nice to know. Today, we can expect a humid day with mostly clear skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 20. Then tomorrow, Sunday, it'll be humid with mostly clear skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 19. And finally, Monday, we begin the work week with a humid day with clear skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 18. I have one more bit of news to share with you before I go into a little blow by blow of what happened yesterday. But first, I want to remind you that December celebrations are around the corner. If you are familiar with them, well, you know how it gets. If you're not familiar with them, it gets interesting, festive, emotional, crowded, chaotic, fun, stressful, all kinds of things. It all starts with the traditional celebrations such as the Peregrinaciones on December 1st. And then we continue with a variety of activities and traditions that can either inspire us or drive us crazy, or maybe a little bit of both. If you don't know how to navigate December in Puerto Vallarta as far as the celebrations are concerned, well, I'll give a nice little presentation in a couple of weeks about understanding Mexico's holiday season traditions. I've spoken about this before, and I'll continue to speak about it between now and the event, which will be on the 5th of December at 5 o'clock at the Joint Boutique Hotel. Now, last night, we went to see a play. We went to see Beware the House on the Haunted Hill. I mentioned, I was very happy that there were like 13 or 14 of us officially representing, what is this called? Coffee and Headlines. Yes, we were there. We had a great time. We were very entertained. That's what I like. I like to go see a play, and I like to be entertained, and that's exactly what happened. We laughed a lot. And that's what the play is about. It's an opportunity to go and have a good time. Beware the House on the Haunted Hill is performing at the American School. It is produced by Teatro Sin Borders, the only bilingual community theater company in Puerto Vallarta. At present time, they're putting out one play a year, and this is, I believe, the third one, and they are doing a great job. I am so happy that we went, and it was wonderful. And then on the way back, where is it? Did I set this up? Oh, thank God I did. On the way back, we were driving home, and it's a good thing that we had already eaten because I was not particularly hungry. And we drove past two favorite restaurants of mine. The first one was Vagabundas in Versalles, and I looked at it through the window and I thought to myself, oh shoot, hold on. Okay, so I said to myself, note to self, go to Vagabundas sometime in the near future because it's wonderful. And we kept driving, and I knew that we were going to drive past another favorite restaurant of mine. It's so favorite that the name just escaped me. Oh, come on, memory. It's a taco place. I forget what it is. the name. But the restaurant is one of those restaurants that I really, really love. And as we got to the restaurant, I noticed that they had live music playing. And I'm going to come out of my own restaurants and music closet. Out, thank you, Eric. Yes, it's Barbacow. I'm going to come out of my restaurants with live music closet and say, I don't enjoy going to a restaurant to listen to live music. If I'm going to the restaurant to eat with friends and have a good time with friends, restaurants that play music under those circumstances are not for me. I am there to enjoy the company and the conversation of my friends. I am there to enjoy the food that makes this restaurant worthy of my visit. Not that I'm a special person or anything, but if I like a restaurant's food, then I'm going to go. Um, good question. We'll get to that in a second. So I've pictured myself, okay, what happens if you're driving from one side of the city to the other and you're craving a meal at a restaurant and you're savoring it and you park the car and you get off the bus or the Uber or whatever and you walk into the restaurant and there's live music. Like they didn't announce they were going to have it. There is live music. So I thought to myself, Paco, maybe you are becoming an old fart. Maybe it's just you. So this morning I quickly put out this poll on Facebook. Are you more inclined or less inclined to choose a restaurant because they feature live music? And 19% of you so far have said, I want live music while I eat. The majority of you at 51% don't want live music while I eat. So I am with the majority. And 30% of you for 30% of you, it makes no difference. But what I found fascinating, beyond the confirmation of the fact that most of you agree with me, is all the different comments that you shared above and beyond just participating on the poll. So if there are restaurants watching right now who would like to answer these questions, it would be so awesome for me, and I'm sure for others. Why do you program live music in your restaurants when you may or may not even know whether the people that enjoy your restaurant are going to enjoy the music you schedule? Why do you do that? I would really like to understand that. Some people made reference in the poll, and I invite you to check it out and participate, of the fact that it's not the music, it's the volume. And that's one of my big pet peeves. Some people commented, well, if we're here in Mexico, why do we have to go to a restaurant to listen to American music? Which is also a valid point. I'm not saying that there are no people out there. There are many people that enjoy live music in restaurants, and good for you. It's not for me. Why do restaurants do this? A restaurant owner told me not so long ago, well, we do it to support the musicians. Well, you know what? I don't buy it. Because if you're doing it to support the musicians, you're actually adding more work for yourself. Because now, as a restaurant owner, you have to go and promote the fact that your restaurant is featuring live music. So you've just added work for yourself. And by adding work for yourself, I wonder if sometimes you're taking away time and effort to what I think as a restaurant owner would be your primary objective, which is to keep your customers happy with great food and great service. So I don't get it. If somebody explains it to me, I won't bring this up again. I still will not show up to a restaurant for dinner that has live music, because if I go with friends, I wish to enjoy my friends, their company, their conversation, and needless to say, I wish to enjoy the food. Then there's a very sad issue, and this is the last thing that I'll mention. The other day I went out for dinner and I saw musicians playing as background performers in a restaurant. And these are musicians that are conservatory trained, that I've seen in great stages. So you have to wonder, what is going on with entertainment in Puerto Vallarta and the cost of entertaining, that it's too expensive to go to the venues. The venues tend to not pay musicians very well. So musicians end up having to take gigs at restaurants where the restaurant owner is not necessarily promoting these gigs properly, and where clients like some of you, or the majority of you in this poll, and myself, are not going to want to return to your restaurant because you have live music. So I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just curious if somebody wishes to share some comments about this. If there are any restaurant owners that would like to explain to us why you program live music that is loud and that may not be something that your clients wish to enjoy, why do you do it? We're all ears. Aha. Lots of good mornings. Thank you very much. Lots of good mornings. Absolutely fun time at the theater last night. It was good to see you, Mark. You and Linda, who was working as a volunteer, I might say, for collecting toys for Toys for Tots and chasing away the raccoons. They were selling cookies, and there are raccoons in the campus of the American school. So it was really funny. We were buying raccoons while we were buying coffees while we were looking at the raccoons in the background, trying to get to the cookies. We were buying coffees. I said that's not what we were buying. We were buying cookies. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. Good to know. Eric says there is a terminal. It is very small. Nice to know. Let's see what else. Good morning, good mornings, good mornings. Pamela says, so fun to see you and the whole gang last night. Thank you so much for being supported, for being supportive to Teatro Sin Borders. You mean so much to us. Well, it's a great thing to live in a city where there's live theater of quality, and you guys are what we have, so we're going to support it. You were very, very funny last night, Pamela. And of course, the director of the play is here. Hello, John. Lovely to see you last night. Thanks for being a great audience. Well, it's nice to go out and have a good time and watch a comedy and laugh. And I am of the opinion that, if you don't laugh, you're not giving the actors on stage any feedback to be funny, and you're not engaging. So we like to laugh. It was very, very fun. Patrick Michelson says, what happened to the mini meet and greets, and or when is the next regular one? Well, these events have kind of gotten into the land of forgottenness. I've been busy creating other things for Coffee and Headlines, like producing the shows and producing the spotlight and doing all these other things. I don't think too much about the meet and greets anymore because I don't feel strongly that they fulfill their goal. And I don't hear much from you that you're missing the meet and greets. If you're missing the meet and greets, whether they're mini or maxi or regular or irregular, I would love to hear more from you, because in my mind, we're doing just fine doing what we're doing. But if I'm wrong, do let me know, and we'll schedule one for some time in the near future. For me, it's just a matter of supply and demand. If many of you want them, then we will have them more frequently. Feedback, please, feedback. Linda, great seeing you and part of the cluster last night, but we missed Luna. Luna doesn't go to the theater. She is very, very busy taking over my bedroom, my bed, my blanket, all that good stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would Barbacow sit? Gathering info. What do you mean, where would it sit? I don't understand the question. The restaurant sits in Colonia Versalles on Vienna Street. If you're thinking of yourself, um, I sit wherever I can. And if I get there and there's music, but I still have to have the tacos, I will sit as far away from the musicians as I possibly can. Let me clear my throat again. Give me just 1 second. Oh, that felt better than sex. Okay, so your comments about restaurants here. We try to go early in the evening so as to avoid the music that makes it impossible to have a conversation, right? Lucina says, totally agree on the restaurant music. I want to have a nice visit. That's my pleasure, right? Uh, I do like the soft music during dinner that can be in the background. Agreed. Agreed. But if you're going to go through the trouble of hiring a live musician and somehow your payment to the musician is going to be reflected in my bill, either directly or indirectly, you know, I don't want to be forced into, well, thank God there's a lot of restaurants in the city. If there's a restaurant that has live music and you don't want to cater to it, then you go to another restaurant. Let's see. With music, it depends on my reason for going, mood, and the who is playing. Many people follow groups, and it draws them into that spot. This is true. Those distinctions are a great guide to musicians in restaurants. So often it is too loud for conversation, needs to be subtle and always advertised. Sometimes I go for the specific musicians. Sometimes I do too. Like we were advertising the band Monaco the other day. They are an awesome band and they are extremely expensive to go see at one of the venues. So if you want to go see them in the restaurant because it's less expensive, then you manage that compromise. But more often than not, if I go to a place that serves food, it's because I'm hungry, not because I'm craving the music. Um, Albert avoids restaurants with live music unless I'm eating alone, then I don't care. That would be me as well. I can speak to my table mates when there is music so loud you can barely speak to the person next to you, which is again for the emptieth time. I ask restaurants that are watching, why do you do it? Why do you do it? Mark says, I go to a restaurant to eat, not to listen to music. Thank you. Uh, Music is only good at Peepee's best house band that makes it fun with audience participation with feel good songs, which is why Peepee's is not for me. And notice, I didn't say Peepee's is bad. It's just not for me. It may be for many, and it's good to know that there is a restaurant that has good band and fun audience participation. That's where I'll send my friends that enjoy that, but not me. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I can detect the irony on this post a mile away. Eric says Peepees, where they serve the food that tastes like Mexicans think gringos think Mexican food tastes like. I'm not even going to touch that one. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Jules. Vagabundas Versalles waiting to make you Kung Pao. No live music. Oh, honey, wait till I come back from my latest getaway and I'm going to be there. And I'm so much looking forward to learning more about Vagabundas and how you guys came to Puerto Vallarta in this coming week's the Spotlight, which is going to be a lot of fun. Yay. Kung Pao and Lucha Libre on the same interview. I love it. I have been to some restaurants with soft folk guitar music, which wasn't annoying, but anything other than background music, I prefer to avoid unless I am alone. We're all, or many of us, are on the same page here. And again, when a restaurant owner has the team and the operation set up in such a way that he or she can afford to pay attention to what the musicians are doing on top of taking care of reservations and greeting and cuisine and kitchen and service and all that stuff, then power to you. And there are great restaurants in town. For example, Hacienda San Angel. I don't know as of recently because I haven't eaten there in a long time, but Hacienda San Angel usually has quiet guitar or used to have quiet guitar in the background, whether it was live or it was canned coming out of speakers. But the operative word, the key word here is quiet. Let's see. I am off to the Minnesota Orchestra Mozart Requiem tonight. I hope you know all the words. I think singing that Requiem is a lot of fun. Enjoy, Jonathan. Uh, I think she means where would you rate it between 1 and 10? Well, why don't, instead of putting words in her mouth, Mark, we wait for her to clarify. We don't like to put words in anybody's mouth around here. But Brian gave Barbacoa a strong 8. I would give Barbacoa a strong 9, but that's just me. And I think we're done. This says por qué, why, por qué, because. And I don't understand that comment.
¿Qué es eso? No entiendo.
No entiendo. Okay, que es eso? No entiendo. It's time to wrap things up. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I did say I'm going away, and yes, I'm going away, but you'll have more details about that on Monday morning. Don't worry, I won't be gone for long, and I won't go far away. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.